Please subscribe to Face TV Africa and turn the notification on. Face TV Africa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ subscribe, hete.
Face TV Muswobi.
Kábíyèsí ẹ jọ̀ọ́, kí ni ìbáṣepọ̀ yín pẹ̀lú Ọọ̀ni of Ife, Ọba Aláké, Aláàfin Ọ̀yọ́ àti Àwùjalẹ̀? What kind of relationship do you share with these people?
Well, traditionally, gbogbo wọn bá tó dárúkọ yìí, olúkálùkù wọn ló ní significant roles tó ń play. Gbogbo wọn bá tó dárúkọ yìí, gbogbo wọn they were age-long ancient stews. And on a good day, ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, Ibo ni orírun Yorùbá. Orírun Yorùbá speaks volume that Ife. Fine. So if the Ibo wá láti Ife, do we need to find ourselves? Now, my own principle is, ẹni tọ́lọ́run bá ti gbà fún, èmi náà gbà fún. And talk less, Alake is my paramount ruler. And so, no matter how, I have to give him 100% loyalty. And despite that, Oni is my ancient traditional ruler. If there's something I can do, then to give him 100% loyalty. And when we're talking about Aláàfin for you, he's my father. And we've got a very good cordial relationship that in the midnight he calls me, in the midnight I call him, for you to know how much deep we are. And when you're talking about Kábíyèsí Àwùjalẹ̀ happens to be an number from Ijebu side. I am from Egba. So my loyalty goes to Alake more than Àwùjalẹ̀. But by and large, it still radiates within same summary. So that's just what I see there. But it's about me, I give respect to all the whoever respect for. So I believe we are all one. But by and large, in Ogun State, we have 4 traditional rulers. 4 traditional councils. That is, we have a traditional council, we have a Ijebu traditional council, we have a Remo traditional council, then we have a Yewa Awuri traditional council. So now each of these councils has a head, and each of the head is referred to as the paramount ruler. Then we are all other categories of us fall under them. Either paramount ruler is clarified from the British, he is the top. So whoever is there, we have to give him respect and the acquired loyalty. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Kábíyèsí, sir, please, can you tell us your relationship with Olu Owode of Egbaland?
Like I said, when there is problem, and God picked you out of the problem, or God solved the problem miraculously, the way you don't expect. So you don't have to go back and visit it. Owode Egba is a number in Ogun State, or say in Egba Tribal Council. What? He's a brother Oba, and is it our coming to the world? We have reasons for our coming. Is it my coming to the world? In my world, I built Owode Egba. Then, if he repay me back with whatever he taught, that is no problem. That is what God sent him to come and do. So I don't have to fight him. Nor do I have any grudges with him. No. It's my brother. We are one. But whatever anybody does, leaves after him. That is me. The last year, the Speaker of Lagos State sent some rams to me. He said, Kábíyèsí, give Olu Egba. I said, okay, no problem. If that you want, okay. And I called him. You have a message from Speaker. Come and take it. And he sent somebody. And they took it. So I live a very transparent and beautiful life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Don't forget that whatever everybody wants, every one of us has, that is what he gives out. If you have good things in you, you give out good things. If you have bad things in your heart, you give out bad things. But don't, because of whatever anybody gives, don't judge. Because it's only God that can judge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, please, what's your take on Amotekun as a whole?
The Amotekun we're talking about, what is it? One thing is, if they do not play politics with it, it's a good sign. But if Amotekun is being politicized, my dear brother, it's called for regret. And don't forget that whatever any government does, there will be another tone of politics in it. So that will make it to be a bit weak. Because when you're talking about Amotekun, Amotekun has to go more of traditional institution than the way it is. Now, if Amotekun has to go traditionally, so that tells you that with politics, whatever be the traditional issue there might be jeopardized. So that's the only cause for concern.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Kábíyèsí, a gbọ́ wípé nígbà COVID-19 pé ẹ kópa gidi gan lórí àwọn ọ̀dọ́ ìlú yín, and we heard you fed about 80% of the people in your community. How was that possible for you, knowing the fact that you are a king and you don't work? How is that possible, sir?
Well, that's a good answer. Well, I should thank God for the way God makes my wife, and she has the initiatives that Kábíyèsí, what do? We just have to have an impact. So, and a lot of big companies, they were giving donation to both federal government and the state government. So we will give to the local government. Then my wife sent money to the local government, which was acknowledged through later. Then we now sat down, okay, giving money to the local government, there will be a political undertone. So she now said we should have an initiative of feed 1,000 people. Then we give thanks to God. God sees the heart. And don't forget that God relates with you through your heart. God sees our heart, you know what we want, and God knows how to implement it. So along the line, one of our vibrant yellow days came to me, said, Kábíyèsí, it's like Pastor Oyedepo said he should bring 1,000 bags of rice for me with rice, beans, and the gari for 1,000 people. That is how the Operation Feed 1,000 during COVID came up. So now, that was the first thing before date. Then along the line, one of my brother, Kayode Kolade, they got married to Toyin Kolade. So then I said, Kábíyèsí, as are people doing it, we need food. So then, both of them sent, I think, about 50 packs of fish with about 1,000 bread. Well, it's aligned with what we have in plan. So that is how we just do it. In a nutshell, we did almost about eight rounds of feeding 1,000 people. So I thank God for the life of my wife, and I thank God for everybody that participated in it, and I thank God for the people that we give and they receive. You see, the other time I told you, whatever everybody has in mind, that is how you really want to have in your mind. God use your mind God transmits whatever in your mind to physical things for people to see. So as we are doing this, along the line, Dangote to send 1,000 bags, 10 kg bags of rice, 1,000 pieces. So it's a line. Along the line, my wife went to organize the one Toyin Kolade and the husband came to do here. So she has to relocate it back again. So it was like, so it now reminds me when they said Jesus Christ fed people with fish and bread. It was so fantastic, and we cannot just do that to be repeating it. Because if they put the pack of fish, if they put it on the floor, it's like you see multiple fishes. What is it? It's like there's a miracle behind it. Anyway, we thank God for everything. It was so perfect. We tend to give what we have in mind to our people. And God has been so kind to us. So with God, all things are possible. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Sir, when you were talking, you said Pastor Oyedepo. Please, what relationship do you share with Pastor Oyedepo that we would have thought of, Kabiyesi Oba Itori is the person I want to give this kind of thing in this situation.
That is good for you. God has a way of doing his job. And God's way is never man's way. Sometimes, either 6 years back, my brother's daughter finished from the school. And I went there. So when we got there, at the end of the program, the pastor said for me. So we have one or tete-a-tete together, and since then, there has been good relationship with the both of us. So he's a man of God. I'm a king of the people. And there's a way we relate. And God has always been so kind to us. So I give God all glories and adoration for the life of Pastor Oyedepo and all the people, good people God uses. The likes of Aliko Dangote is a God sent, and he has been delivering God's job in humanity. Even recently, he just sent about 210 million to the Ogun State government to distribute to the venerables in the state. And God will continue to bless him and guide him right. Thank you.
Yeah. Sir, we realize you have a cordial relationship with Dangote. Please, like, for how long have you known Dangote, and how strong is the bond and friendship between you guys? Because many tends to see that Kabiyesi is different from the rest of the king. How have you been able to cope with the fact that not everybody is going to like you, for the fact that you are a very generous person and you are a philanthropist, and you have a lot of dignitaries around you, which some Obas are not privileged to have?
Well, you see, I will still take you back to God. God is so kind to humanity that God will have prepared you for your future. When I'm about to open my travel agency in 1995, I don't have staff. It's my wife that used to be the staff in the office. She stays in the office, then me I go out. Then, on a good day, I was doing some field job. I ran into Femi Otedola. Then Femi now said, AK, can you open the travel agency for Aliko? I said, who is Aliko? And I said, Dangote now. Okay. I've been hard to know him. This came up in around 1996. So I floated Kuramo Travels. Dangote owns Kuramo Travels. So that was where God has started to use him in our life. But many people don't know that we are together. They thought probably it was when I became Oba, I knew him. No. So if I'm spending 17 years on the throne, and I work since 1995 till 2002, and we came together in 1996. You see how long we have been together? 1996 to 2000. That's how many years? 4 years. 2000 to 2020. That's how many years? 20 years. So that tells you that me and Aliko Dangote, we have been together for 24 years. But since I became Oba, I've been urging him to come and invest here. Not until he totally agreed barely 5 years back. Now, that tells you if you remove 5 years from 17 years, that will give you 12 years. So that tells you we have lost contact. We have lost contact for over 12 years before he came back, before we reunion. So people doesn't know a lot of things, but they forgot that without head, there's no body. no matter how handsome you are, if you are bad, if there's no air in your head, it's still a problem to you. So we give thanks to God for that. And he has been doing what God has sent him to do in the life of the humanity. That's where I see it. And that is why I learned a lot of things from him. He doesn't look back. Whatever you like, you tell him or you say about him, he doesn't care. He doesn't listen to you. But that tells you that in life, no matter the position you are, you will have enemy. Either you like it or not. And don't forget, any tree that hasn't got fruit, igi tí ó bá léso, ọmọ aráyé ò kì í sọ̀kò fún. Ìgbà tí gbogbo yín wà ní kékeré kò sọ́ta, tọ́ta bá máa wà, ó máa wà minus. Ìgbà tí wà ní school kò sọ́ta, tó máa wà kékeré ni. Tó bá dẹ̀ máa wà náà ọ̀tá nú lé ní kì í ṣe ọ̀tá ta. Bó tó dípò bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣiṣẹ́, tó bá tí ní lárí kò sọ́ta. Ọjọ́ tó bá ra mọ́tò lọ́tà dé. So it is advisable for you, you better build house tí ò ní pariwo than kó lọ ra mọ́tò. Ọjọ́ tó bá ti ra mọ́tò, ada ó pariwo kò pariwo, ada ó hàn kò hàn, ọ̀tá ti dé o. So ògbọ́dọ̀ wa máa sá dende eré, Ọlọ́run á dúró ti gbogbo wa. So the Aliko tó sọ odidi ọ̀run kan ló tún mẹ́sàn yẹn o, torí ọ̀nà ọbẹ̀ yẹn náà tún pọ̀ lọ́tọ̀. Ìyẹn náà pọ́ ọmọ pọ́ rẹ̀ mi ni ọ̀tá tún nìyẹn náà. Ọ̀tá ni bójú gbé lọ. Tí Ọlọ́run bá ti dúró tì yàn, ìjókòó kékeré ni. Ọlọ́run tó dúró tì wá ni kó má padà lẹ́yìn wa. Nǹkan tá a bá ń ṣe fọ́lọ́run tí Ọlọ́run fi ń dùn, ìyẹn ni ká tẹra mọ́. Tó ẹ́ pàánù là ń ṣe, ká tẹra mọ́ àánú. In the course kò ń ṣe àánú. Àwọn tí ó máa ṣe fún tòun ní mọ̀ máa pọ̀. Wọ́n pọ̀ o, wọ́n pọ̀ o. Ìwọ́sàdó ti Ọlọ́run. Wọ́n ní ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá forí ti Ọlọ́run, wọ́n ní kò ní jogún òfo. So gbọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run gbogbo Ọlọ́run ayé ṣe. Thank you.
Ẹ ṣé gan kábíyèsí sir. Talking about fashion, gbogbo wa la mọ̀ pé you are this kind of king that is very fashionate, sir. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, like what really inspires you? Your dressing, your sense of approach and all. What is your inspiration behind it?
Well, thanks and adoration to God Almighty. The secondary school I attended is called African Church Grammar School, Abeokuta. The motto of the school is known for high standard. And ever since, the only thing they'll be taught in the school is don't compromise standard. If you don't compromise any standard, you always be afloat of whatever you're doing. And despite that, while we were still struggling with my wife, we had the fashion outfit. And so that is where I knew the wife of my former governor, Oyedepo. So why do we know ourselves? She believes all the designs she sees in our showroom, they're classics, they're special designs. And how do we get it designed? I will just sleep and I will see it, I will draw it. And I'll give it, I'm not a tailor, I'll give it to them and they will bring it out. Before you know it, everybody will be looking for it. So that is it, and I just believe in having SSs. So that's just me. So I believe in having SSs, I believe in complete dressing, I believe in, I don't do it for anything, just because if my spirit says this is what I want, I give my spirit whatever I want. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, in some of your videos we've watched, there is a place you said kings are like mirror. What do you mean by that word, sir?
Well, kings are like mirror in the sense that whatever you throw to the mirror throws back to you. And if you go to the mirror, if you reflect, if you wave to the mirror will wave back to you. If you throw egg to the mirror, If the egg does not break, the mirror will throw the egg back to you. So now, people should look at the kings so that they will know how to behave or to relate with the king. If you make kings happy, invariably, that happiness will definitely come back to you. Simple. Whatever you do to the king, if you give king 10 naira, the 10 naira invariably coming back to you. Because the spirit of the land will replicate back whatever they do to the ambassador. So simple. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Let's go into music, Fuji music as a whole. Who do you feel is your best Fuji musician?
They are all my Fuji. They are all the best.
Okay, if you are to hold a program now, which of the Fuji musicians would you prefer
Whichever
to
that comes to mind, I hold.
Not like probably you dislike the rest, but then if you are to choose.
If I'm to choose,
Yeah.
I will choose all of them.
To come for your program, sir?
Yes. Because they are all my favorites. So they are all my children. I can't pick one and leave the others. So I have to carry everybody along.
Everybody along.
Not only Fuji, in Juju, in classical, in whatever you think of.
Please subscribe to Face TV Africa and turn the notification on. Face TV Africa, subscribe, hete.
Face TV. Muswobi.